The state of Qatar is an independent state in the Middle East, occupying a peninsula that juts into the Arabian Gulf and includes several islands. Doha is the capital of Qatar. Since its complete independence from Britain in 1971, Qatar has emerged as one of the world's most important producers of oil and gas. Qatar's official currency is the Qatari rial. Arabic is the country's official language and Islam is its official religion. Qatar has a desert climate with a year-round sunshine, hot summers and mild winters. Mean monthly temperatures range from 17 degrees Celsius in January to 36 degrees Celsius in July, sometimes reaching highs of 40 degrees Celsius during the summer. Rain is infrequent, falling in brief showers mainly in winter. A maroon-colored flag with a broad vertical white stripe separated with a 9-point serrated line is the national flag of Qatar. Have you ever wanted to know more about Qatar and whether you should go there? Maybe as a tourist or maybe for work? Well, guess what? I lived there for 7 years and I think I have enough experience and enough tips and whatever you want to call it. So this video is everything you need to know about Qatar. And if you don't find the information that you were looking for, you can comment down below and we'll answer it. Again, I lived there for 7 years and I also went to 2 different schools, a private one and public one. I graduated from high school from Qatar. I have a lot of experience, that's what I'm trying to say. Another thing, this video consists of 5 different sections. Here are the timestamps where you can find where each section starts. If you want to skip one, go ahead. Number 1, stats and facts. I'll give you some quick facts and some stats about Qatar and to make you more familiar with the country. Let's start with the first one. The population of Qatar is 2.6 million and that was calculated in 2017, so you could say it's around 3 million now. Qatar is the richest country in the world. It has a GDP of 130.475. I don't know what that means. I'm just giving you the info. Qatar is the country where a natural disaster is least likely to strike. And for me, that's a big thing. You know, if you experienced earthquakes, you know, they're a bit scary. Also, 99% of people live in the city. That's not very common in other countries, but yeah, in Qatar, it's very urbanized. Everyone lives in the city except 1%. I don't think it's even 1%, but whatever. This one is not that great for green people, you know? There's not a lot of trees. There's almost no natural trees except for palm trees. Because as you know, Qatar is in the desert. But they're trying so much. If you go there, you will see trees and grass, but they grew it. They are spending too much money, or let's not say too much, so much money on growing trees and grass. It's a cool thing, but at the end of the day you won't see forests or something, but you have desert. You can go, they have a lot of beaches. The beaches are very clean. The water is a bit warm there, but you have a desert. If you want to discover the desert, then it's a perfect place. They have too many camping sites that you can visit. The ground is very plain. What does that mean? That means you won't see any hills. The only hill you'll see is a road bump. That's perfect for me. I don't like hills. No complaints there. There's no real cities there. Like, there is cities and areas, but people there are not very familiar with them. Everyone is just from Qatar. Qatar. Where do you live? Qatar. Yeah, what's it? Qatar. What city? Qatar. Everything is almost centered in Al Dafna. It's called Al Dafna or Doha. And even if you don't live in Doha, you live like around it. Everyone lives near to Doha. Even if you live far from Doha, you probably go to Doha very frequently. Well, if you are coming from a colder weather, let's say from Canada, I don't know, it will be a little bit of a challenge there because it's always summer there. And maybe you love it, because for me, I love the hot weather. Alright, I love the hot weather. I don't mind the cold, but I love the hot weather more because you just stay home and open up the AC and that's pretty much it. But yeah, it's always summer there. Like, the coldest it can get is probably 18 Celsius. Or 13, let's say. That's the coldest thing. That's during January. But other than that, it's always like 30 degrees and up. It's always 30 and up. During July or August, it gets to 45 and it gets really hot, but you won't feel it, and here's why. Because everything in Qatar is like indoors. Most of the activities there are indoors. There is a lot of activities outdoors, but most of them are indoors. And everyone has a car there. Like, almost everyone has a car there. Also, public transportation is not popular there. They opened a new tramway now and metro. Yeah, it's still new. Best place to live in Qatar is probably near Al Defna, but not in it exactly, because there it's a bit crowded and there's a lot of noises. But if you live near it, it's perfect because you can do anything. Everything is close to you, but at the same time you're in a chill place. I was in Lusail, and Lusail was pretty cool because it was calm, chill, there's not a lot of people. If you are concerned about the language, don't be, because 99% of people speak English there. And I think if you speak other languages, like let's say Arabic, because the official language is Arabic, but if you only speak Arabic, you'd struggle more than someone who knows only English. Why? Because most of the workers do speak in English, not in Arabic. So speaking in English will open a lot of doors for you. And that you are watching this video, I'm assuming you do speak English. Because it's not just the hot sun, it's the humidity. Because it's a small country, but it is surrounded by water everywhere, so it gets really, really hot very quickly. And you'd start sweating. You won't really use buses there. Like, I've been living there for 7 years and I never used it, and I've never seen someone use it. Unless you are going to school, of course. But as for public transportation, buses there are terrible because there's not a lot of them, and it's for a good reason, because it's so hot. Again, it's so hot. You can't just go and wait for a bus and go, unless you want to melt down. Usually buses are just to take workers from home to work or students from home to school. Like, there is some buses there that take from a place to another, but I've never seen someone use them. Another thing about public transportation, don't use taxis, don't use car wash. Use Uber. That's from a personal experience. Uber are way better. It is cheaper, more convenient, and just way better all around. If you are wondering about the prices in Qatar, the prices are actually just like, you can compare it to the US, I guess, because I went there and you don't feel that much different. And this might be shocking to some of you, but women do have rights there. People sometimes don't know things about a country, but they just assume it. Yeah, Qatar is in the Middle East, that they must not have rights to women, because I watched a video of someone who was talking about moving to Qatar or something, but then he didn't go because women don't have rights there. Mate, are we talking about the same country? What's up? And listen, I don't know about the legal stuff, I don't know about what's written, what's in the law or something, but sometimes it's different in reality, because in reality, where I lived, there was a lot of Western people living in my compound, and they were doing the same things they do in Western countries. So yeah, in general, there is women rights. Women can drive by themselves, they can travel, they can do anything by themselves, and that's the reality. I don't know about the law, but that's the reality there. Everyone is dressing however they want, and everyone does whatever they want, but you just need to be respectful to the culture. If you want to meet people from all around the world, I think it's the best place. I think it's the perfect place. There is people from everywhere, from Asia to Europe to America to Africa. People are coming from everywhere, like the United States, Canada, Serbia, Pakistan, India, everywhere, mate. There's people coming from North Africa and from South Africa. See what I did there? And I did not think about it until I moved out. When I moved out, I was thinking about it. There's too many nationalities there. And because it's a mixture, you don't feel it there, because everyone is it becomes a cocktail. You don't feel it. There is a good chemistry there. So you don't feel like there is barriers between you and other people. If you are Muslim or not, you'll notice that there is mosques everywhere you go, which is nice. If you're not Muslim, they won't force you to pray, alright? You can do whatever you want. And if you are wondering about the internet speeds, if you are a fan of internet, which I guess you are, then fear not, it's high there, it's high. When I first came there was some problems. There was a lot of problems with the internet, but then they kept upgrading it, and last year, which is 2019, this year actually, it was crazy good. The internet speeds were crazy good. And the last fact, if you have been living under a rock, Qatar will be hosting the 2020 World Cup, Football World Cup, real football. Number 2, let's talk about the people, Qataris, because it's their country. The population of Qataris themselves is around 300,000. That's the last time I checked. I don't know how much now. In general, you won't interact with them that much. It depends on your work. If you're going to private school, you won't really interact with them that much. They tend to stick together, you know. But in general, they're very nice, you know. They're very nice and chill. I've had friends, like, I did not interact with them at all, except for last year. That's because I did not go to a school where there is Qataris, but when I did, our class was awesome. I made a couple of friends and they were very chill and calm, and they were very funny, you know. And my interactions with them were perfect. And another example is my dad. He's a doctor in the university, so he did interact with them a lot. And the thing that he says a lot, they are respectful. They're very respectful. Now, number 3 is life. What is life there? Life in Qatar. If you ask anyone, or let's say 99% of people that can talk, why do you love living here? Or why do you like life in Qatar? The number 1 thing they will say is safety. It is incredibly safe there. Unbelievably safe. And there is another video from a channel called BD, Tunisian Dreamer, where he asked people about what they like in Qatar, and here's what they said.
Safety is one of the key factors, right? Positive is that there's security, there's job opportunities.
It's a very safe community.
هنا بقطر يعني الأمن أمان يعني ما شاء الله يعني.
As you can see, safety is the number 1 thing in Qatar. Safety is priceless. In Qatar, you can leave your bike outdoors. No one takes their bikes inside their house unless you don't want dust. You don't fear getting robbed at all. I forget my phone on a table, let's say in the library, or even in the mall or something. You'll come back and find it at the same place. And here's why. Well, first of all, robbers get deported, and there's CCTV cameras everywhere, and people are usually in a good state in terms of money, so there is no reason to rob a phone. And crimes are very, 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 very rare, and even when they happen, they're just dumb. You'll find that it's a dumb kid who did the dumb thing. The only thing that happens and harms people is car accidents. Car accidents are relatively high, unfortunately. There is radars everywhere, there's CCTV cameras, but you know, people are people. They're going to cheat the system. They know each camera. They speed up and they slow down to the radar. But if you compare it to other countries, other Middle Eastern countries, it's probably the safest next to UAE in terms of driving. Another thing is their culture. You have a lot to discover. New words, let's say, new tea. Karak. But yeah, you have a lot of things to discover about the culture. Another thing, another very interesting thing is the schools and the universities there. There is a lot of them. If you are coming from anywhere in the world, there will be a university, or not university, let's talk about schools first. There will be a suitable school to you. Whether you're coming from America, Canada, or Pakistan, you'll find a school that is either from your country or similar to it. So that will make you transitioning there or moving your family there, it makes it easier. Also, there's something else. Some people do like it, some people don't. It's an easy life there. It's an easy life in general. There's a lot of people that will help you. In the gas station, you don't even have to get out of your car. In the supermarket, there's always someone working in the cashier that his only job is to pack your stuff. Lately, Qatar has been like a sports destination, you know? If you are a sports lover, you will love living there, especially lately. They're trying to prepare to the World Cup, but at the same time, they are having other sports. Handball World Cup was there, I don't know which year, but maybe 2 years ago, I don't know, man. Also, the swimming World Cup. Tennis, there's a tennis tournament every year. Each year there is a tennis tournament. Last year Djokovic was there, he did not. And each year you'll see Bayern Munich there and Paris Saint-Germain as well, and a lot of big teams, they come there for a camp or something. And most importantly, the World Cup. Now let's talk about what people think. Usually people think Qatar is in the Middle East, then you have zero freedom. No. I mean, again, I don't know what's written in the law, but the reality is you have a lot of freedom there. I don't know what's written in the law, but the reality. Now let's get into some controversies. You'll see in the news they keep talking about these minorities that are not living a good life. And listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, not everyone is rich there. There's still some people that are not living the ravishing rich life. And that's especially for people who work like normal, I'm not gonna say normal jobs, but people who don't have degrees. Let's put it this way. People who don't have degrees don't have the best shot there. That's the reality. They're looking for people, they're looking to hire people. But usually if you want to go there and you want to have a good time, you'll need a degree and experience. Now let's talk about a disadvantage. Living in Qatar won't grant you a nationality. You won't get any papers. Lately they did actually introduce the Iqama, which is the residency for a lifetime, but it's a bit hard to get it. It's hard to get it. It's hard. But if you go there, don't think that you're going to live there forever. And that's the mentality for everyone who lives there. All foreigners know that they won't live there forever. And that's why the salaries are very high. There is no retirement plan. You won't get more money, but your salary is going to be very high compared to where you come from. It's usually much higher, and that's because there is no retirement plan. So you need to be strategic and smart about it. Some people do live there for 30 years, and they can have enough money, let's say, to start this business, and then they keep living there. So it's not 100% impossible, but the average, normally people go there to work. As soon as their job is done or they want to retire, they go back to where they came from, or maybe to another country, I don't know. Now, getting a higher salary means something. It means you will work more. Workers there, whether you're working in a company or a school or wherever, people tend to work more than other countries, even Western countries. People in Qatar tend to work more, they give you more jobs, more things to do. Now if you go somewhere there's a very important thing, maybe it's the most important thing, and that's food. Again, there is a big variety of people coming from everywhere, so wherever you are coming from, you'd probably find a restaurant that serves you the food that you want. And supermarkets there are huge, you'll find anything you want. And that takes us to the living expenses. Now, I lived there for 7 years, but I haven't thought about the living prices that much. I did my Google research for that because I lived there, but I did not think about prices that much. But what I found out is the median salary there is 13,000 Qatari riyals, and that is in dollars here, and that's just the median salary. If you're a doctor, if you're like a doctor in a hospital or in a university, if you're an engineer, if you're like, you know what I'm saying, you have these big degrees and a good experience, your salary will be much higher. Here's the thing that makes people go to Qatar in the first place. It's not the salary itself. Yeah, the salary is high, but you'll probably find this same salary, let's say, in the United States. But here is the big difference. Most companies do offer to pay the tuition fees for your children. They do pay for the schools, and the schools there, the private schools, are very expensive to say the least. And they also pay for your car. Again, it depends on the job, but usually they do pay for your car as well. And the most important one, rent. Rent is very high there, but usually the job pays for it. Usually most jobs, from what I've seen, do offer to pay for your rent or give you money to go and rent by yourself. So the salary you're taking, raw salary, no taxes, rent, no car, and the school fees, salary. So it will be very easy for you to save up more than 50% of your salary, I would say. Let's say your job doesn't offer to pay for your rent. Then you'll be looking at 3,000 Qatar riyals to 10,000 for a one-bedroom apartment. If you are looking to buy a car, which is most likely because you will need it 100%, 10,000%, then guess what? The prices are great. Comparing to my home country, they're actually cheaper. And the gasoline prices are very cheap as well. And here's the price for the Land Cruiser. And actually, Land Cruiser is the most popular car there. You'll see it everywhere. If you turn to the right, you'll see 10 Land Cruiser. To the left, it's 20 over there. And yeah, if you love supercars, you'll see a lot of them as well. Lamborghinis, Bugattis. I don't care about them, but if you do love them, you'll see a lot of them. And so that you can understand the prices there, here's a list of some products so that you can compare with your home country, I guess, or something. I would say one thing, tech products, let's say, I don't know, keyboards, monitors, or PCs, are usually high there because there's taxes on them. There's high taxes on them, so they're a bit higher. And here's a tip, here's a secret, alright? This is a secret. Buy from Amazon. And yeah, Amazon is very easy to order from in Qatar, so here is a tip. Now, number 4, we're talking about my personal experience. So my experience there is, we moved there 2012 or 2013, I don't remember, but my first experience, again, my first reaction was, that's hot. But then I got used to it, and for the first months I did not know much English, you know, but then I started talking, I made some friends, and I started talking more in English. I made a lot of friends there. I'm still friends with them now. I went to a private school for 5 years, I think. But then the last year, grade 12, or last year in high school, senior year, I transferred to a public school. I had low expectations, but it was great. Last year was awesome. I wouldn't change anything in my experience there. Yeah, I did love living there. I wouldn't change anything. You know, it was a great experience. That was everything for today. If you did not find the answers to your question, or if you want to know more, you can also ask me down below in the comments. And that's everything for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next time, and peace.